Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and thanks for stopping by to watch this video. So now it seems this FAFU is really getting to American citizens, and I just discovered one lady has come up with a very brilliant idea to help the American citizens feed on little as $20 and they will have a wonderful meal. So this guy I'm going to be showing you in the next video found out about her and posted her on TikTok, and the video went viral. She teaches Americans how to live on a budget, how to cook affordable meals on a budget. She even shows what she buys when she goes to the supermarket, how she prepares this meal. So come with me, let's watch this video, and I would love to hear your opinion about this video.
There's this lady on here that shows people how they can make Dollar Tree meals to help people who are struggling financially. And I want her to know that her videos are helping people. Went to the dollar store tonight to get some canned vegetables, and this woman pulled up next to me whenever I was going in. And, you know, she was kind of driving a beat up car, and she had 3 little kids with her. It must have been about like under 8 years old, all 3 of them. And later on in the store, as I'm walking around, I walk past her on the same aisle and I see she has all the ingredients that Dollar Tree meal lady has to make a Thanksgiving dinner. So I asked her about it and she seemed kind of shocked that I knew, what she was doing. So, to not make her feel bad, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to make it too. I'm struggling, because I didn't want her to like feel shame or anything. But the thing that caught my eye was she had the apple cider muffin mix to make those like crumble cookie type things. But yeah, we ended up having a really good conversation, and she said that for Thanksgiving this year, she was just going to do like frozen meals or something. But she said because of those videos that she's actually going to be able to give her kids like a real Thanksgiving dinner, and her kids are excited for it. So yeah, the Dollar Tree meal lady is a wholesome creator, and I want her to know that her videos do help people, because I saw a real life example of it.
When people say there's always light at the end of the tunnel, I think this should be an example. When everybody is complaining how the price of things in America is going up, is rising up, this lady just came up with this idea and people are running along with
Here's
it.
how I made a Thanksgiving dinner with only $20 of ingredients from Dollar Tree and only using my stovetop. Starting with green bean casserole, bring a pot of water up to a boil, salt the water if desired, add in your green beans, return it to a boil, then reduce your heat to low, cover and simmer for 5 minutes. If you see any stemmy bits, go ahead and remove those in the process. Drain your green beans and return them to the pot along with your can of cream of mushroom soup and a half a can of water. You don't need milk to prepare green bean casserole, it only adds creaminess, but it's not a necessary ingredient. Return this mixture to the stovetop to heat through, and then if desired you can add a handful of fried onions into your casserole mixture. Add it to a casserole dish and top with the remaining fried onions. You don't necessarily need to bake this, as the fried onions are already crispy. For the potatoes, just heat up 4 cups of water to a boil and then whisk in your instant potatoes. I actually mixed 2 flavors together and I really like this flavor combination. It might be one of my new favorites. For the macaroni and cheese, cook according to the package instructions, but before draining the noodles, reserve a half a cup of the pasta water. We'll use that in place of the milk and butter on the package. Then drain the noodles and stir in the reserved pasta water and the cheese sauce packet. The Bisquick mix can be mixed with 1/3 of a cup plus 1 tablespoon of water, and then I fried it in a skillet with a tablespoon of oil. I just dropped my biscuit dough into a medium heat skillet, and then once it was kind of browned up on the bottom, I flipped them over and reduced the heat to low, covered with a lid, and simmered for 10 minutes until the biscuits were cooked through. It's an identical process for baking the cookies in the skillet, except you use a dry skillet and don't flip them. As far as the honey glazed Spam, I think this was the part that intrigued most people, and I wish it had worked out, but I think Dollar Tree has changed the recipe for the Spam in the past year since I used it, because I remember using it for Spam fried rice and it not being too bad, but this time it definitely had a bit of an off taste to it, almost sour taste, so I would not recommend this one, so I'm not really going to share the recipe because I don't want anyone replicating it. But I do think that this would work out potentially with the deli ham, and I don't really know why I didn't think of that to begin with, or some of you had suggestions on how to make the country ham work. For the carrots, I just steam them in the bag per the package instructions, and then because I've had these before and I know they're a little off tasting, I did drizzle them with some honey to sweeten them up a bit. And the last part, but the easiest part, is just mashing up the jellied cranberry. Here's my final thoughts and takeaway. The mashed potatoes were 10 out of 10 amazing, so were the green bean casserole, and I especially liked the macaroni and cheese when it was mixed with the mashed potatoes. I used the cranberry sauce as a spread for the biscuits since we didn't have any butter. And as far as the carrots go, I still don't really like them, but I also don't really like carrots, and of course, as I mentioned, I didn't like the honey glazed spam at all. And the cookies were definitely the best part. I made a 3-course Thanksgiving dinner on a $20 budget from Dollar Tree, and today I'm sharing the appetizer, which are these fried mac and cheese bites. I started with a box of Kraft thick and creamy mac and cheese. This one is my personal favorite, and I used my favorite no drain method. This is where you combine the pasta with 1.5 cups of water, a half cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of margarine, and the cheese powder all together in one pot. Bring it up to a boil, stirring every couple of minutes, then cover and simmer for 8 minutes, stirring occasionally, and the result is a really rich and saucy mac and cheese. I poured this into a shallow container and I chilled it in the fridge for at least 4 hours, but overnight would be even better. Once chilled, I popped it out of the container and I cut it into 12 cubes. I coated each cube in Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, then I dunked them in milk and I coated them in breadcrumbs again. While coating, I was compressing each cube with my hands to form it into a ball shape, and don't worry if you lose a few noodles, just keep squishing and it'll come together. I fried these in oil for 3 to 4 minutes in 2 batches of 6 until they were perfectly brown and crispy. Then I removed them and drained them on paper towels. I served them with ranch for dipping, and these turned out so crispy on the outside but tender and creamy on the inside. I think these are the perfect start to a Dollar Tree Thanksgiving dinner. I don't make response videos very often, but I feel like this is one of those situations where it is warranted. I made this $20 Christmas dinner from Dollar Tree, and I got a lot of really positive responses on it, and a few that I just want to take some time to address. So for the people who don't believe that I actually paid $20 for these items, I did post an entire video where I showed the shopping process of me buying these items at Dollar Tree. So because transparency is important to me, technically I paid $20.50 for everything because I live in the state of Virginia where they charge sales tax on food, but not every state charges tax on food, so it's easier for me to go by pre-tax price rather than account for all 50 states' rates. And again, because transparency is important to me, I get a lot of comments from people who are concerned about the fact that I don't add seasonings or garlic powder or things like that to my food, but I've talked to a lot of people, I've done a lot of research, I've worked with food banks and food pantries to know that these items are not as common in households as you may think, so I have to consider whether the cost outweighs the benefit. And sure, it's easy for people to be like, well, it's only an extra $1.25 and you can get it at Dollar Tree. Absolutely you can, and if that's your priority, feel free to do so, but if I had to choose between a package of deli ham and a container of garlic powder, I'm going to go with the deli ham because food is better than a seasoning. We're used to seeing these budget creators who say that they spent $10 to $20 on a meal and then they add eggs and butter and milk and seasonings and all of these things from their pantry, and I've said this before, but those items are not free just because you already have them, and you can't consider those items to be staples or essentials without disclosing that at some point during your video. Like, you can say it's a $10 video, but you have to have eggs and butter and milk on hand. I'm not one of those creators. If I say it costs $20 to make it, well then I'm accounting for the cost of every single item that I'm using. The only items that I consider to be essential to make any of my videos are oil, salt, and pepper, and I've reiterated this a couple of times, so some of you guys already know that. So because of those limitations, buying items that are pre-seasoned or pre-flavored, like these roasted garlic potatoes I'm showing now, are more accessible and cost-efficient for the people who don't already have a fully stocked spice cabinet. I guess I should be proud of the fact that I made this $20 dinner, and one of the biggest hurdles was that people didn't believe it was actually $20. I've never really been accused of lying about prices before, so that was an interesting hurdle for me. But I do want to thank everyone who goes to bat for me in the comments, who reply to all of these comments from people who are kind of saying the same things over and over again. I try to get the message out there, but I can only reply to so much, so thank you to everyone.
Here to show you how she purchases those items from the mall, and people are taking it in a positive way, forgetting about what is happening in America, forgetting the inflation or what is happening, the MAGA they are seeing, the FAFO they are experiencing, and they are living the best of their lives. So what do you think about this video? Can you leave your comment in the comment section? I also advise you also subscribe to my channel and click on the notification button to get notified anytime I post a video like this. Bye. See you next time.